everyone, and welcome. Whew. I'm feeling a little better with the headache, but anyway. I know this all looks a little blurry, and that's so you can see stuff like this a little bit close up. It's a little less blurry, so it's kind of 50-50 to both, because I've never seen the other videos it seems a lot more blurry or close up. So anyway, since we grabbed this one anyway, Chibi Chibi Boys, which is a very bizarre name. I never played it yet. I got used a long time ago. I never got. I would assume from the cover it's probably a side scroll, but if you know anything, you shouldn't always rely on that. Now let's start with stuff on the side here. General Chaos. It's an EA cartridge. You can always recognize them with the weird oversized and the yellow thing on the side. I never really understood that with EA's cartridges on the Sega Genesis. But General Chaos. This was a very interesting game. This I got used, but when I was a kid, I rented it all the time and forced my dad and half brother to play it with me because it has co-op in versus mode. And basically, what you do is you pick out a team of soldiers. You control individually and switch between the movement while they constantly attack and stuff. It's very hard to describe because I never really played any game that was ever really like General Chaos again. I just really loved it. And I found a copy of it and I was like, woot! That's always good. And, you know, more combat, you know, if you... back in the day, I was a Genesis person. My family went Genesis, you know. Genesis was trying to market towards the people with a little less money and give you better deals on games, which is pretty much why Nintendo started doing that a lot more. Though, to my understanding, Japan and Sega of Japan thought that was crazy. They're like, give Sonic 2 for free and shit? I always wanted to get an original copy of Streets of Rage 2. My favorite in that time series. It took me a long time to get my own copy. When I was a kid, my dad even loves this game. When I was a kid, our next door neighbor owned it, and we played it all the freaking time. And I do have multiple copies of Streets of Rage 1. The first one I got was the Sonic, the Genesis 6-pack, or just call it. It has Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage 1, Revenge of the Shinobi, Columns, and Super Hang-On, which I'm not sure what that one is. It has tape on the top, which is why it's doing that big glare, because this was coming off, so I put tape there to keep it on. And we move on to Streets of Rage 3, which most people would remember being highly censored in the American release. The ending was considered fucked up in America, and one of the secret characters was completely removed and replaced with another. Whether that was good or bad, most Americans probably would say that was good, but there were some people who found it really bad too. If you're not sure about that, you can always look it up. There was people who talk about that, but overall, I mean, it still plays like the Japanese one. It's just the story and one of the characters were changed. We played this a lot too. It wasn't bad. Now here is the definitive first time I ever played an RPG ever. Before Final Fantasy IV was not my first RPG, but it was the first game that really got into me RPGs. It got me into it. But the very first I ever experienced Shining in the Darkness. I was too young to understand this game because it's a very complicated RPG. It's a first-person maze thing, not something a little kid's gonna gel at. Now, this isn't our original. My sister got Aladdin for Christmas, and our next door neighbor wanted to borrow it and lent us Shining in the Darkness. Then he moved away with Aladdin and pissed my sister off. And obviously she didn't care for this, and I've had it for ever since then. And as I evolved in RPGs, I went back to this. And I loved it. Loved it. Probably actually, I'm not really into first-person RPGs, but I really liked Shining in the Darkness. It was a great game, and I went over it very fondly. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist, which is considered a whip-off of the Super Nintendo, which one was it? Crap, I can't remember it. But a lot of people just consider it kind of a different version of that. But, it's a co-op. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beating up people. Nothing wrong there. Now, probably, first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game I have played has to be Torment Fighters. Pretty awful game, in my opinion. It's a fighter. Yay! And a lot of characters and shit don't make much sense in this one, in my opinion. I do not own the original. I rented it a lot when I was a kid. And as far as I'm aware of, the original is pretty expensive now. But, Toe Jam and All Panic on Funkatron. I really liked the first one. And a comment about Wu's video on Panic on Funkatron when he said he didn't really think the first one aged very well. The reason I personally think the first one was better than this one is, I mean, don't get me wrong, Panic on Funkatron wasn't, like, bad, but the reason I really liked the first one was the fact you could literally be on any stage while your partner was on a completely different stage. How many games right now can you think of that let you do that? I mean, you could be on the bottom floor while your friend's on the top floor. There's not a lot of games. Hell, I can't even think of one. Valves. I think I'm saying that. Valves. I'm probably saying it wrong, but this was a side scroller. It's a very odd game. And the spin-off, Sinden of Valves, which is a very chibi art style to it, and it's supposed to be kind of a spin-off thing to it. Now, some more loose cards, as we always shown. Aladdin. Even though there's a lot of Genesis games rarely have anything on the front, it's always on the top. Mystical Fighters with kabukis. Very bizarre idea there. Sports game, who cares? Boink. I don't even know the name of this. My dad got out of a bargain bin. I have never played it. From the picture of someone being punched there, I'm going to guess it's a fighter game. But I have never played it. It's in very poor condition. I don't even know what it's called. So, sorry though. Aliens 3. Wow, that 3 is kind of small there. I'm not even sure. Yeah, you can see it there now. Not sure how to say this. Arcadius Odyssey. The only ways I got is, if you notice the company there, it's the exact same one that made these. And I do not think I've tried it yet. I do really need to pull out my Genesis and try out. A game particularly a lot of people seem to hate is Sword of Vermilion. And I'm not too sure why people hate it. I thought it was interesting. I think a lot of people hate it because it's kind of set up like Ultima on the PCs, where you got like a square here for your stuff, then a sidebar with text and stuff, and a map. Except it's more of just the map being, you got like a regular map, your player being viewed in a first-person map, and I think there's kind of a third-person look thing. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure Bensai did a video on this game. Arzia Dragoon. I'm pretty sure he did that a few months ago. Very, very interesting game. I personally haven't played it yet. I'm really behind on trying. The original Sonic the Hedgehog. Whoop-dee! The greatest version of Strider, unless you're playing the actual arcade or the actual arcade port on the PS1. Beforehand, this was pretty much the best Strider version of the original Strider, at least. Phantasy Star 4. The End of the Millennium, which is for some reason not on the cartridge at all. Don't you hate when they do that? Master of Monsters. Again, same thing with that company. I believe this was a tactics game. I'm pretty sure I did try it once. It's the label is in pretty poor condition. And I'm pretty sure I read there was a pour there on something else. More sports. Bye-bye. Vector Man, a very interesting platforming game. My half-brother, my dad beat it. I never beat it myself. It looks like the label's starting to get kind of bad on top there, but a pretty interesting looking game. It tried to use the kind of graphical thing and made it look kind of 3D. Tournament Golf, Sports, blah. Valve 3, which never got to that one. Shining Force 2. Never was a really big Shining Force buff. I really liked it, Shining in the Darkness, and every time, I didn't have the booklet with this. Every time I played another Shining Force game, the Shining Force games are good, but be honest, the only real sequel Shining in the Darkness, being the Force Shining game, had was Shining the Mystical Ark, I believe was the title. I did play some of that, and I need to get back to that. Vector Man 2. I never played it. I saw it in the store. I didn't even know it ever had a sequel. I got for my dad to play, and I think he played it some, but I never really looked into it. Battletoads. This is a remake of the first one, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a remake of the first one. It looks like it. It's in pretty good condition. I believe it had its booklet, yeah. Upside down for some reason. Looks all good, nice, yeah. I never played this one yet. I played all the original Battletoads. Fatal Labyrinth. I got this because I saw one of the people I'm subscribed to, and I don't know why that's cut out. That kind of makes it look bad, but aside from that, I'm pretty sure it had its booklet in that. Yep, booklet. That. It's basically a magical dungeon type game, or world game, whichever the hell term you prefer. The graphics are pretty bleh. You probably can't really see it decent, yeah. But, it didn't look like it was necessarily bad. The person I saw who did a video of it, that was pretty blah, but, everyone has their own opinion. Sonic 2. Who doesn't own Sonic 2? Most people own the Genesis, it came with it. Super Battle Tank, The War of the Gulf. Something my dad got used. Now, I really loved the movie this was based off. If I can remember how to pronounce his name. I'm horrible. In The Great Rescue. I don't remember what the movie was exactly called, but this is based off the storyline of the movie. Basically, the country Rome invaded, which had a little Gauls from France. Basically Rome invaded their country, and the only last village it stands is theirs, and they have a wizard that gives them magical potions that make them super strong. So the Romans kidnap the wizard and basically use it as an attempt to wait for the superhuman strength shit to fade and basically take over. And the whole thing is about rescuing them. I don't know if you can get the movie on VHS or anything in America. This is kind of like, Tintin and stuff. Well, it didn't really catch on in America. I know there was a PS2 title that didn't come to America. because of that. I really like Tintin in that movie, and it's really a shame. Nobunaga's Ambition. Yeeks. This is pretty, and of course it's Koei. This is the real-time strategy stuff, not like comes with it has a poster in it, which is of the cover. Nobunaga. It looks more paint-like on here than the cover. In the back has a map. Really crappy, cheap map. Pretty hefty book, too. They were probably taking a pretty big gamble releasing something like this in America. This kind of stuff is only really popular on PCs. It's all in pretty good condition. I haven't really played this one, though. I got it for a pretty reasonable price. Stargate. My dad loves Stargate. He bought it. I don't know if it's any good. Never played it. Sorry. Shining Force 1, which comes in a hard case instead of the cardboard thing, which is much better in my opinion. Probably one of the sole reasons a lot of these made it through time more than Super Nintendo stuff. It's all in very excellent condition too. Book's a little bent up, but it's overall pretty good. Castlevania Bloodlines. I never knew of this Castlevania until James's Castlevania video, which was kind of strange. I mean, like, I never heard that one. So, I got it. It has its book in there. It's in pretty decent shape, and it's a very excellent entry in the Castlevania. Galaxy Force 2. My dad got from used bin. He liked playing these kind of games a lot in the older days. Golden Axe 2. Again, was there something about Sega games cutting off the little scanny code thing? My dad loved this. Steel Empire. And, let's put that, like, here, because I want to look up something real quick, because, there was something very interesting about, Steel Empire. I read it, purely by luck. The Japanese version is based off a Miyazaki movie. It was originally supposed to be a game about Castle in the Sky with its steampunk thing. Yeah, apparently, actually, it's not like that in Japan. It was originally being developed as a video game for Castle in the Sky, and apparently all of it was dropped in favor of a new story to flesh out. The game retains themes of the steampunk from the anime, so that's actually kind of interesting, though. That originally began as a movie-based game for Castle in the Sky. Very interesting. I liked it, but it's freaking hard out of it. It's a schmuck game, a left to right to left kind of thing. It changes, if I remember correctly. You play as a blimp and shit, and it's crazy. Cliffhanger. You can hang for the cliff. Olympics. Okay, classic. Centipede and Missile Command. As I said, I loved me some Missile Command. It's updated versions of them. Not anything too big. Star Trek: The Next Generation. Echoes from the Past. I was very fortunate to actually get this as a kid. Star Trek is about the only sci-fi series I can relate to. I'm not a big sci-fi person. It's kind of like why I'm not really into Mass Effect. It's not that I hate the game, it's just the plot's completely not very interesting to me. Admittedly, I didn't play a lot of it, but, and I'll get back to it, I always do. But, I really like Star Trek crap, and, if you never experienced this, go check out Woo's video. He does I didn't even know there was a Super Nintendo version of this, let alone it being inferior, which makes me all more happy I got the Genesis version. This came from a friend of mine, Mother's. We lent games to each other a lot, and, She lost my dad's copy of Castlevania 3. Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. That's not original because she lost it, and my dad was pretty freaking pissed off about that because that's his favorite Castlevania. And she gave us her Game Genie and this as a full apology, but he was still pissed that later on they found a copy and gave that to us. And that's that copy. LMEX, not its original case. The artwork in that is perfectly fine. The case is horrible with tape all over it. I can't remember. I swapped the case for something else, but I can't remember what it was. This is a pretty crappily done game. I mean, it was an interesting idea, but I think it's like one of those ones that suffer from being way too hard for little kids. Green Dog, the beach surfer dude. Pretty bizarre game there, and you can see the top where a dog's bit off some of it. This is a freaky, weird game. It's about a guy who puts on like a coarse necklace, if I remember. He has to go through all this bizarre shit to get it removed because basically all forms of life hate him when he's wearing it and he can't take it off. Tasmania! Oh, good lord, this game's horrible. It's horribly done, and it's lifeless. There's like barely any music in it, and bosses are pathetic, really. And near the end, it gets freaking hard. I never got far in that. Platforming is worse. World of Heroes, never played it. Some kind of fighting game. My dad got out of a bargain bin. Landstalker, something I got. I got Landstalker in Lady Stalker, if you saw my Super Nintendo video, because of a Dreamcast game I got called Time Stalker, and I found out that it was a kind of spin-off sequel of this and that. And the thing is, the characters from those two games appear in it, along with some other Sega characters. And it's kind of weird to see a Super Nintendo. The main character of Lady Stalker appears in it. Parasolar in the Great Architect. And I really want to do a video, let's play this. I really want to play it. But I do not have the kind of hookups to record it unless I did it off my screen. And I do need to look into that. I think I'll do that right after this. And the Legend of Wukong, which isn't really a new game. It's just first time it. Oop, stuff collapsing. Yeep. Just pardon me a second. No, don't collapse. Don't collapse. Anyway, this ain't really a new game. It's just basically a first time being released outside of China, if I remember. It was a China game, and never really had a re-release because I think it was basically pirated software or something kind of equivalent to that. But very interesting. There was a complete different quality in the covers between these two. This has a shitty plastic on it. This has the exact feel of a thick Genesis case and everything. It's very well done. You get lots of little extras, but I always showed off all that stuff. So no real need to do that. You can check out my video game updates. Looking at. But yeah, I also want to play this one too. But again, don't have the right kind of hookup to record. I only have the little TV box thing. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my Genesis collection. Not sure when I'll do another video collection video, but I'll probably do it sometime during the weekend. Do another one of that. I'll have to be doing my handhelds too, because you can't start without the Game Boy stuff before going into 32-bit, obviously. But I still have a little 16-bit stuff to go through. So anyway, until next time, folks.